For cops working at night, darkness can make it almost impossible to catch a fleeing suspect, even from a helicopter. Any tree or even a deep shadow can hide a man so thoroughly that pursuing police lose his trail. But in Fort Worth, Texas, the police have found a high-tech way to see in the dark. It was sometime around 10 on the night of July 18th in a suburban neighborhood of Fort Worth. Using actors and officers involved, we have reconstructed the events of that night according to police and eyewitness accounts.
I was lying in my bed and I heard a noise. It sounded like a small motor, so I peeked out the blinds and saw a guy with a weed eater, and I wondered why somebody would be doing lawn work at 10:30 at night, and so I watched him to see what he was doing. At first I thought that he had locked himself out of the house. But then I decided that he didn't act like a person that had locked himself out of the house. He was acting too afraid. Whatever he was doing, he wasn't supposed to be in that house. And that's when I decided to call the police.
419 emergency?
The eyewitness's call came in at 10:19 p.m.
There's somebody that's breaking into the house next door.
What's the address of the house next door?
I'm not sure what it is.
Is it an apartment or a house?
It's a house.
Hey, what do you see?
There's a guy.
The whole time I was talking to him, I was watching the window.
You have a description of the man?
He looks like a Mexican. He was wearing shorts and a kind of a tank top and black hair.
I wondered if there was anybody in the house. That was the main thing, is that if there was anybody in there, I was afraid for them, and I wanted the police to get here.
Oh, okay. We'll get to know right out there. Thank you.
Thank you.
The police immediately dispatched Air 1.
Monticello Drive. Last name Nicholson. Sights of a Hispanic male wearing a tank top and shorts. Just crawled in through the back window of a darkened residence next door. The residence is actually on Monticello. The white residence, second from the corner to the north.
When the call went out, Flight Officer Larry Henderson and Pilot Jay Dixon were only a couple of miles away.
About one.
There's the house over there.
Air 1's FLIR system allows officers in the helicopter to see the heat of objects and people on the ground below, even when it's dark, and often even when they're hiding.
We get on a scene on a call like that, and we were using the FLIR, which is the infrared device. We did not see anybody in the backyard or on the grounds proper, but out front there was a truck and a person standing next to the truck.
Air 1 John 13, we have a subject out in front of the house standing at a vehicle, something in the back, appears to be a lawnmower.
The first officer on the ground arrived within 10 minutes.
There was a black female by a parked car in front of the residence. It was just unknown at that time exactly who she was.
What are you doing here?
My husband and I more than know him. He's back there.
She just was talking loud enough so that whoever was inside the house could hear as well.
Come over here. Come over here. What are you doing over here?
Officer Gary Gendron and his partner were next on the scene.
Is anybody with you?
She was excited, like she had been startled, looking up towards the helicopter and towards the back of the house, as though she was expecting someone to come from the rear of the house. The helicopter had already started its FLIR system and had taken up a position in the back of the house where they had been told the suspect had gained entry.
Looking down into the house, you can pick up a heat differential in that if there's an open window, the warm from the inside of the house will show up as that window being a warm spot.
Air 1 to John 13, just for your information, it appears we have an open window at the back of the house. Shows up on the infrared as a heat differential.
10-4, John 13 A to B. You're going to take that?
I jumped the backyard fence and made my way toward the window area. Officer Dotson made his way around the back to my location.
John 210 to John 213.
Everybody was kind of on alert at that point. The window was broken around back, and it had been broken with a weed eater, which was still laying about 3 feet from the open window.
Watch your hand as you get in the vehicle.
I went ahead and put her into my car as a safety measure to keep her from running off while I'm trying to secure the front of the house.
We went ahead and made a decision to go ahead and enter the residence and have Officer John Drawn cover the front while we did make entry.
The first thing we noticed when we came in the back bedroom was that the house was completely ransacked. I'm not sure what he was looking for, but every room was just completely ransacked and in shambles. We weren't sure if the suspect was still inside the residence. It's kind of like hide and seek, but for real.
Nobody in the kitchen area. House is clear.
A car drove up and asked me if I was looking for a black male with a white muscle shirt on, because there was one running down the street.
Subject in a vehicle just advised is about 2 blocks down on West 5th Street.
When I told the helicopter that our suspect was heading down the street, they started scanning the street with their infrared system. The helicopter picked him up as he was nearing a patrol car that was coming up the street.
10-4, John 213, you 10-4.
Have anybody else out here that can stop him?
He's running eastbound on 4th. He's running eastbound on 4th. Okay, he's turning to the south, and he's going to be on whatever the side street is run by 7-Eleven.
My partner and Officer Dotson were in the house, so it left me. So I went ahead and took a route with the female in my car. Air 1 called the pursuit. I monitored the streets that Air 1 called.
Still southbound, he's by the rental place approaching 7th Street. Approaching 7th, 10-4, John 210, you clear? K-9's chasing him now. He's out by the post office and JJ's hideaway.
I was heading eastbound on West 7th Street, where the helicopter last said he was heading back towards West 7th Street. I saw the beam of light coming towards me, so I knew the suspect was running towards me.
Heading westbound. Cutting back to the north, be coming out on 7th Street. Westbound on 7th Street, approaching Monticello Market.
I saw him when he came around the corner of the building, and once he saw my patrol car, he darted across the street.
Officers have him. They're taking him down now.
The infrared system is our night eyes. It sees a lot of things we don't see. It's enhanced our abilities to catch the criminals. He could have just ducked behind a bush and gotten away from us if it were just us. But he couldn't get away from the infrared system. The suspect we were chasing was in good physical condition and could have outran just about any of us that were there at the scene. So I believe he would have gotten away without the infrared system.
At nighttime before, I figured the helicopter at night was probably a marginal assistance. With the FLIR, it is a major factor in police work. It is a very good tool, and I cannot imagine doing the job without it.
Using the FLIR in pursuits has worked out real good for us. We can go out, and find these people and deal them a little misery.
The suspect is awaiting trial for burglary. The woman was not charged. Next.
He started rolling backwards, and all I heard was a yell, and I looked up, and I saw him going off the cliff.